Hello everyone, I am Sheila Jaikumar, PGT Biology from JNP Lepakshi. So today we are going to see locomotion and movement in animal physiology. So first we will see about the difference between the locomotion and movement. These locomotion and movements are the two important properties of all living organisms. Then the movements, some of our body parts moves, including human being. Our hands move, okay, our jaw moves. These are the examples for the parts of the body movement. Some of the movement brings change in the location, change in their position. Such type of voluntary movement is said to be locomotion. Okay, then we will see about the types of movement in our cell. Okay, in our body, how the cell performs the movement. There are three types of movement we can see in our body. One is the amoeboid movement, second one is the ciliary movement, and third one is the muscular movement. Coming to amoeboid movement, so some of the specialized cell in our body like macrophage and leucoplast, leukocyte, so they shows the amoeboid movement. Okay, how this amoeboid movement takes place? So the protoplasm pushes towards one side. So that time that part will bulge and they will looks like the pseudopodia of amoeba. So that it is said to be amoeboid movement. Okay, second one we will see about the ciliary movement. So some of our body parts lined by ciliated epithelium. The lashing movement of the cilia on the cell, they performs the movements. So for example, fallopian tube, which is lined by ciliated epithelium, which moves the ova inside the ovarian oviduct. Okay, so next one is the trachea is also lined by ciliated epithelium, which removes the dust particles. Okay, next, muscular movement. So the muscular movement, before going to muscular movement, what are the properties of muscular movement that we will see? So one is the excitability, next one is the contractility, that is contraction and relaxation, extensibility, stretching and elasticity. Okay, so these are the properties of muscles. Then these muscles are classified into three categories based on their location, based on their function, based on their structure. Now we will see the three types of muscles. So skeletal muscle, visceral muscle and cardiac muscle. So what are they? Skeletal muscle, visceral muscle and cardiac muscle. Now we will see about the skeletal muscle. Okay, why it is so called? Because these muscles are attached to our bones, skeletal system, so that they are said to be skeletal muscle. So where are they located? So from the skeletal muscle itself, we come to know that they are attached to the bones, skeletal system. Okay, and the structure that we see, so they are cylindrical in their shape. Okay, they are cylindrical in their shape and they are multinucleated. Multinucleated means usually the cells have single cell, but more than one cell striate these cells are having, so that they are said to be striate, they are said to be multinucleated. And we can see light and dark bands on the cell. Okay, so on the skeletal muscle we can see light and dark bands. So what is the reason for this light and dark bands? Due to the presence of different types of protein, that we will see it later. So they give the appearance of striations, so that they are also called striated muscle. They are also called striated muscle. Okay, and they function, okay, under voluntary control. They are under the control of the brain, so that they are voluntary in their function. And they are involved in locomotory action and changes of body posture. So they are cylindrical in their shape, they are multinucleated and they show light and dark bands. Okay, so that they are said to be the striated muscle and also voluntary muscles also we can call it because they are voluntary in their function. Next we will see about the visceral muscle. Okay, so the visceral muscle is also said to be non-striated muscle and also it is called as smooth muscle. Why? So they are located in the inner walls of the hollow visceral organs of our body. Hollow means the empty. Okay, hollow means empty. The organs, they are lined by the visceral muscles. Okay, they are spindle in their shape. They are spindle in their shape and they are uninucleated. And there is no striations. There is no light and dark bands. So that they are said to be smooth muscles. They are said to be smooth muscle, otherwise non-striated muscle. They are said to be non-striated muscle. And they are involuntary in their function. They are involuntary in their function. Okay, they are not under the control of the brain, so that they are involuntary in their function. And last one we will see about the cardiac muscle. We all know what is cardiology. It's the heart. So these muscles are present in the heart. The heart is lined by the cardiac muscles. Okay. See here, structurally they resembles the striated muscle and functionally they resembles the visceral muscles. Okay. They are in between. So structurally we will see they are also cylindrical. Okay. But one special characters we can see here, in between these two muscle cells, okay, there is connection. Okay, there is a connection. So that these cardiac muscles are branched. Okay, so this branched portion is said to be the intercalated disc. They are said to be intercalated disc. They are uninucleated. Single nucleus present. Okay, and they are also involuntary in their function. Okay, so far we have seen about three types of the muscle, their structure, function. Okay, next we will see about the structure of skeletal muscle. Why structure of skeletal muscle we have to see? Because for the locomotion and the movement, both are involved. Skeletal system and the muscular system. Okay, that is the muscles. So that it is said to be, it is important to see the structure of skeletal muscle. Okay, now the skeletal muscles are made up of muscle bundles. Okay, they are made up of muscle bundles, or it is said to be fascicle. It is said to be fascicle, and these fascicles or muscle bundles are held together by means of a connective tissue called fascia. Connective tissue called fascia. Inside the fascicle present muscle fibers. Once again, inside that bundle, okay, what is present? Muscle fibers are present. Now we will see about the muscle fiber. Okay, so muscle fiber is also a cell. Okay, it is surrounded by a membrane called sarcoplasma membrane. Okay, then inside the cytoplasm like structure present, they are said to be the sarcoplasm, and inside that muscle fiber, sarcoplasmic reticulum is present. Sarcoplasmic reticulums are present. Okay, so the sarcoplasmic reticulum is a reservoir of calcium. And once again, the muscle fiber are having a thin filaments and in the thick filaments. Thin filament and a thick filament, which are said to be myofibrils, otherwise it is said to be filaments. Okay, so these filaments are actin and then the myosin. So there are two filaments are there. They are nothing but they are the proteins. Okay, one is the actin filament, next one is the myosin filament. Okay, then at the center of the actin filament, okay, we can see the elastic fibers. Okay, elastic fibers which said to be the M line in the myosin. Okay, M line in the myosin and Z line in the actin. So in between the actin there is a muscle fiber, okay, which is said to be the Z line, and in the center of the myosin there is a line called M line. Okay, then the portion of myofibrils between two Z line is called sarcomere. Okay, the sarcomere is a functional unit of muscle contraction. Okay, so this is the functional unit of muscle contraction. Okay, next we will see. So this is the structure. Okay, we can see the structure. So these are all the muscle. Okay, muscle fiber. They are arranged in the form of the bundles. They are arranged in the form of the bundles, which are said to be fascicle. These fascicles are all together held by means of the fascia that we have seen. Okay, then it is having the sarcolemma, sarcoplasm, and sarcoplasmic reticulum. Now coming to the sarcomere, the functional unit of muscle contraction. So this is the gap. Okay, or the portion between the two Z lines is said to be the sarcomere. This actin and the myosins are arranged alternatively. They are arranged alternatively. So they are overlapped with each other. But here this myosin is not overlapped with the actin. That zone is said to be H zone. Hope you understood the structure of skeletal muscle. Now we will see about the types of protein. Okay, contractile protein. The first one is the actin filament, which is having three types of proteins, namely F-actin, trophomyosin, and trophonin. Okay, F-actin, trophomyosin, and then the trophonin. So these are the three proteins present in the actin filament. How are they present, that we will see. First we will see about the F-actin. Okay, they are polymeric, monomeric, polymer of monomeric protein, which they twist and they helically wound each other, and along with that the trophomyosin is another type of protein. They also run along with the F-actin protein. Then over the trophomyosin at the regular intervals we can see the trophonin. Okay, over the trophomyosin, at regular intervals we can see the another type of protein which is said to be the trophonin. Now what this trophonin function? This trophonin hides or masks the active site of the actin filament. Okay, they hide the active site of the actin filament. So next protein is the myosin protein. Okay, so structure of myosin protein we will see. So this myosin protein is so they are having the three parts. Three portions. So first one is the globular head portion, and a small arm portion, and this is the tail portion, tail part. Okay, this globular head portion is having the actin binding site as well as the ATP binding site. Okay, so it gives the energy. It supplies the energy due to the ATPase enzyme present in the head region. Okay, now this is the small arm and this is the tail. Because of the presence of the actin binding site as well as the ATP binding site in the head region, they are said to be heavy meromyosin. Okay, they are called as heavy meromyosin. What is this heavy meromyosin? This meromyosin, the myosin is a polymer of monomeric protein called meromyosin. Okay, so this head portion is said to be heavy meromyosin and tail portion is said to be light meromyosin. Okay, then this heavy meromyosin projects outward from surface of the meromyosin and is called cross arm. This is the cross arm. That is a projection that comes out of the head of the myosin. Head of the myosin. So as I said, they are also having the ATPase enzyme to provide the energy. Okay, so next we will see about the mechanism of muscle contraction. Okay, this mechanism of muscle contraction is explained by the sliding filament theory. Okay, how the contraction of muscle takes place in our body, that we are going to Okay, so first before that we will see. So first the central nervous system sends the impulse to the muscles, to the motor nerve, where the muscle and the motor nerve joints connects. So that place is said to be the neuromuscular junction. Neuromuscular junction. When the motor nerve brings the impulse to the muscle, so it secretes, it stimulates, the muscle is stimulated and it starts to secrete the neurotransmitter, that is the acetylcholine. So this impulse spreads in the sarcoplasm of the muscles, that is the sarcoplasm of the muscle, and inside that sarcoplasm, what is located? Sarcoplasmic reticulum. So that triggers due to this impulse and they starts to secrete they release the calcium ions. They starts to give off the calcium ion. So this calcium ion, what happens now? They will come out of the endoplasmic reticulum and it will goes and binds in the troponin. It goes and binds in the troponin. So what is the function of the troponin? It hides the active site of the actin. Now, due to the binding of the calcium to the troponin, this active site, exposed. This active site exposed. Then, when the active site is exposed, the head of the myosin comes and joins the actin filament, active site of the actin filament. So what happens when the head of the myosin filament and the actin filament, when they joins, they will form the cross bridge. They form the cross bridges. So we can see here. So what happens? This head of the myosin goes and joins with the active site of the actin, so that cross bridges are formed. That connection is said to be cross bridges. When these cross bridges are formed, so what happens? It pulls the actin. Which pulls the actin? This myosin pulls the actin. So the actin filament size reduces. That means when it pulls, it will come like this. So that U shape, so that this length will be reduces. Reduces. So in this way, the contraction of the muscle takes place. Then after this contraction, what happens? The relaxation takes place. So during the relaxation, so what happens? These cross bridges, so they breaks. So during the formation of the cross bridges, the ATP, the energy is utilizes, so that the ATP is converted into ADP, the phosphate, that is useful for the energy. So they are using that energy. Now after that, so the cross bridges breaks and they will come to their original position, that is the relaxation. So that time what happens? Once again the calcium ions returns to the endoplasmic reticulum. Once again the troponin masks the active site of the actin and they will come to their original position. So in this way the contraction and the relaxation of the muscles takes place. So that which brings the movement to our body. Which brings the movement to our body. Next we will see about the types of muscle fibers. Types of muscle fibers. So there are two types of muscle fibers can be seen. One is the red muscle. Next one is the white muscle. Red muscle. Why it is called red muscle? Due to the presence of the myoglobin. So why is our blood red in color? Due to the pigment called hemoglobin. Like this, the myoglobin is present in the muscle, so that they are giving the appearance of a red color. Next, in this, plenty of mitochondria are present. More number of the mitochondria are present. Why they are releasing the energy. We all know mitochondria is a powerhouse of cell. So they use energy so that they are having more number of mitochondria. Why? Because they have to undergo the aerobic respiration. So that they are said to be the aerobic muscles. Okay, next is the white muscles. They are white in color. So, due to the absence of the myoglobin, due to the absence or the less amount of the myoglobin content. Okay, then they contain a less mitochondria, so that they are said to be the anaerobic muscle. Energy is not essential. Okay, so that anaerobic muscle. So in this way, the muscles are classified. Okay, so for what are the things that we have seen? The functions of the what? Amoeboid movement, then the ciliary movement, and then the last one is the muscular movement. Then we have seen about the structure of the muscle and structure of the skeletal muscle. Then the mechanism of muscle contraction. Next, the types of muscle, that is the white muscle and then the red muscle. So far we have covered the muscle, about the muscular movement. Now we will see about the skeletal system. Okay, the skeleton also involves in bringing the movement and in the locomotion. So we will see about the skeletal movement. So far, what we have seen about the muscle are clear to you. Now we will see about the skeletal system, which is also responsible for bringing about the movement and in the locomotion. Then what are the components of the skeletal system? Bones and the cartilage are the two components of the skeletal system. Then what are the functions of the skeletal system? They protect the vital organs of our body. Okay. Then second one is they are the reservoir of many minerals like calcium and then the phosphate, and they play a vital role in movement and in the locomotion. So these are the functions of the skeletal system. Now we will see how the skeletal system is divided into two. Then the axial skeleton, then appendicular skeleton. So the skeletal system is divided into two categories, that is according to their parts, axial skeleton, and next one is the appendicular skeleton. Then what are the things that comes under the axial skeleton? Skull. Okay, so you can see the skull. Then next one is the vertebral column. So the vertebral column located dorsal side of our body. Then next one is the sternum. Okay, sternum is located, it is a flat bone located in the midline of the thorax. Okay, so this is the sternum. Okay, and next one is the ribs. So we will see one by one about the skull, vertebral column, sternum and the ribs. Okay, now we will see about the skull. Okay, so can you see the skull? Okay, so here skull. Now the skull is composed of two sets of bones. So cranial bone and the facial bone. Okay, cranial bones are the bones which covers the brain. Okay, they are flat. They are flat and they are immovable bones. So the number of cranial bones are 8. Okay, next one is the facial bone. So the number of facial bones are 14. Okay, now if you see the buccal cavity, so this is the buccal cavity, upper jaw and lower jaw. If it opens, we can see the buccal cavity. At the floor of the buccal cavity, U-shaped bone is present, which is said to be hyoid. Okay, so at the basal or the floor of the buccal cavity, we can see the U-shaped bone, which is said to be hyoid. Okay, then middle ear, coming to middle ear. So our ear is divided into three portions: external ear, middle ear and the inner ear. So in inner ear there are three tiny bones are present. Okay, they are called ear ossicles. the bones which are present in the middle ear are called ear ossicle. They are known as incus and stapes. They are collectively called ear ossicle. Okay. Then the skull articulates. The skull region articulates with the superior region of the vertebral column. Okay. So the skull articulates means it moves. Okay. It moves with the vertebral column with the help of two occipital condyle. With the help of the occipital condyle. So this is about the skull. Okay. Next is the vertebral column. Vertebral column. So the vertebral column, the unit of vertebral column is the vertebrae. There are 26 vertebrae are located in the vertebral column. The vertebral column is a long and it extends from the basal portion of the skull. Okay, and it is a longer and it is a hollow and it covers the spinal cord inside it. Then the vertebrae. These vertebrae, according to the location, they are classified into cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral and carpingeal. Okay, so cervical, where are they located? They are located in the neck region. So how many vertebrae are there? There are 7 vertebrae. Then next one is the thoracic vertebrae. So they are present in the thoracic region. So the total number of the vertebrae 12. Then lumbar. Okay, lumbar in the abdominal portion, hip portion. There are 5 lumbar vertebrae are located. Then sacral 1 and carpingeal 1. So altogether how many bones? 26 vertebrae are present in vertebral column. Inside the vertebral column, the spinal cord passes. Okay, next one is the ribs. So these are all said to be the ribs. So how are they? They are thin and they are flat. One side they are attached to the sternum. Then sternum in ventrally and dorsally they are attached to the vertebral column. Okay, so there are how many pairs of ribs are there? There are totally 12 pairs of ribs. Okay, so these ribs are categorized into 3 types. The first one is the true rib, second one is the false rib, and the third one is the floating ribs. Why are these so called? First we will see about the true ribs. There are 7 pairs of true ribs are there. Okay, so this 7 pairs, ventrally also they are attached to the sternum and dorsally also they are attached to the vertebral column. So that they are said to be true ribs. Okay, then 8 and 9, 10 are called false ribs. Why? Because so dorsally they are attached to the vertebral column, but ventrally they are not directly attached to the sternum. They are not directly attached to the sternum. Instead, they are attached to the first 7 true bones, true ribs. Okay, then last 2 pairs 11 and 12 are called floating ribs. Only they are attached vertebral column, but they are not attached to any sternum or any ribs. Just they are floating. One side they are attached dorsally, but ventrally they are not attached to any bones or ribs or sternum. They are floating, so that they are said to be floating ribs. So in this way the ribs are classified. Okay, and the ribs together called rib cage. We can call it as a rib cage. It closes the important vital organs inside it, like lungs, heart. Okay. Next we will see about the appendicular skeleton. Okay. So first one is the skull. Next one is the appendicular. This appendicular are classified into upper limbs and lower legs. Okay. This is a lower limb. That is the leg. This is the upper limb. Okay. That is the upper arm. So with this, there are 2 types of girdles are attached to the each limb. These girdles are said to be pelvic girdle and next one is the pectoral girdle. First we will see about the forelimb, that is the upper arm. So this upper arm is having the one long bone which is said to be humerus. So this is the humerus. Then below the humerus there are two bones are there which are said to be the radius and the ulna. Okay, and here we can see the carpals, metacarpals and the phalanges. Okay, carpals, metacarpals and the phalanges here. Okay, that is the wrist joint. So one humerus and the radius, then the wrist bone, that is the carpals, metacarpals and the phalanges. So these are the bones present in the upper arm. Then coming to the leg portion. Okay, so here we can see longest bone. So thigh bone is the longest bone called femur. Okay, then below this femur there are two bones, tibia and the fibula. Then coming to here the ankle region, tarsals. Okay, metatarsals and these are the phalanges. So here carpals but here tarsals. Metatarsals and metacarpals, phalanges. Okay, so in this way our limbs are designed. Next we will see about the pelvic girdle and then the pectoral girdle. This pectoral girdle are associated with the upper arm. These are associated with the upper arm. Okay, these bones, this pectoral girdle are located at the dorsal side. At the dorsal side. So there is a flat triangular bone we can see. Okay, which is said to be the scapula. Okay, then this is the collarbone. Over this one, we can see the collarbone, which is said to be clavicle. The clavicle is having, okay, projection, which is said to be the acromion. Acromion. And this, okay, this portion is a cavity. You can see the cavity here, that is said to be the glenoid cavity, in which the bone, okay, is fixed. Okay, so here it is fixed in the glenoid cavity. So in this way the pectoral girdle is associated with the four arms. Okay, upper arms. Now we will see about the pelvic girdle. So this pelvic girdle is associated with the legs. Okay, so here in pectoral girdle, these two pectoral girdles are separated with each other. But here they are fused. Pelvic girdles are fused. Okay. This pelvic girdle once again classified into, now it is not classified, the parts of the pelvic girdle are the flattened ilium at the upper portion, and here it is the pubis. Okay, pubis which is associated or attached with the another girdle. Then in between the ilium and then the pubis there is a ischium. So these are the three main parts of the pelvic girdle. Okay, then here the cavity is there, like glenoid cavity in the upper arm. In lower arm we have the cavity which is said to be the acetabulum. So inside that acetabulum the head portion of the femur is located. Now we will see joints. Joints are the points where two or more bone connects. So such point is said to be joints. So joints are essential for all types movement involving the bony parts of the body. So joints. Now we will see about the types of joints. There are fibrous joints, cartilaginous joints and the synovial joint. Okay, so fibrous joints, they do not allow any movement. Okay, immovable joint, we can call it as a immovable joint. Okay, so the example is the skull. So skull is, okay, the cranium is made up of 8 flat bones and they are joined by means of the suture. Okay, suture like structures are seen. Okay, so they will not move. Okay, they are tightly joined together, 8 flat bones, and we can call this as a fibrous joint or immovable joint. Then coming to the cartilaginous joint. So it allows limited movement. Only it will shake. Okay, limited movement it will allow. And example is the joints between the adjacent vertebrae. So the vertebral column is made up of a unit called vertebrae. So slightly they will move. Okay, slightly they will move. So that they are said to be cartilaginous joint or slightly movable joint. And last one is the synovial joint, freely movable. They are freely movable. So there are 5 types that we can see under synovial joint. Okay, why the synovial joint is freely movable means because of the presence of the synovial fluid in that joint, which acts as a lubricant, so that the movement can freely take place. Okay, so ball and socket joint, hinge joint, pivot joint, gliding joint, and a saddle joint. Okay, first one is the ball and socket joint. So this ball and socket joints are present. Okay, in the shoulder. Okay, the shoulder portion. Okay, that is said to be the ball and socket between humerus and the pectoral girdle. So this is the humerus and the pectoral girdle. So that we can move our hand freely. Okay, because of this joint, synovial. That is one type of the synovial joint, ball and socket joint. Okay, socket means it is a cavity. Inside the cavity, the ball-like, okay, or the head of the this upper arm is located. So freely it can move. Then next one is the hinge joint. Okay, that is the knee joint. Okay, or the elbow joint. So it acts like a door. One side only we can move, another side we cannot bend it. So it is said to be the hinge joint. Okay, like the door. Then coming to pivot joint between atlas and the axis vertebrae. Okay, that is it is attached to at the basal portion of the skull and the first vertebrae of the vertebral column. So only we can move like this. Okay, slightly move left to right, right to left. Then gliding joints between the corpuscles. Okay, between the corpuscles here. Okay, this gliding joints. Then coming to the saddle joint between carpal and the metacarpal of the thumb. Okay, so this movement. Okay, so that is said to be the saddle joint. So they can freely move. So that is said to be synovial joint. Due to the presence of the synovial fluid, it freely moves. Okay, so these are the different types of the joints which are essential to bring the movement to our body. Okay, next we will see about so these are all the joints. So ball and socket joint, okay, then the hinge joint, saddle joint, pivot joint. Okay, so these are all the different types of the joint that we can see here. Then now we will see about the disorders of muscular and the skeletal system. Okay, disorders. Okay, what are how they are affected? Okay, how they are affects muscles as well as the bones. So what are the disorders related to this? First one is the myasthenia gravis. It is an autoimmune disorder. It is an autoimmune disorder. That means, okay, so the immune system, okay, the immune system affecting the neuromuscular junction leading to fatigue, weakening, and sometimes it leads to paralysis also. Okay, due to the immune disorder. Okay, due to immune disorder, so they become fatigue. The parts will become fatigue. The next one is the muscular dystrophy. Progressive degeneration of skeletal muscle, mostly due to the genetic disorder. Okay, so it is hereditary disease. It comes from the parents to offspring. Okay, degeneration of the skeletal muscle, reduction. Okay, reducing. Okay, degeneration. Then coming to tetany, wild contraction. Okay, so there is a forceful contraction, the wild contraction in muscle due to the deficiency of calcium. Then arthritis, inflammation of joints. Usually the elder people suffer from arthritis. Okay, inflammation. Then coming to osteoporosis. It is a age-related disorder. Okay, characterized by decreased bone mass and increased chance of fracture. Okay, it is due to the reduction imbalance of the hormone, that is the especially estrogen. Then last one is the gout, inflammation of joints due to accumulation of uric acid. Okay, due to the accumulation of uric acid in the joints causes gout. Okay, that is the inflammation in the joint. So due to the deposition of the uric acid. So far we have seen about the muscular system and then the skeletal system, which are responsible to bring movement as well as the locomotion. So I hope I hope you understood this skeletal system and then the muscular system. Thank you.